my late 20s, right, as a newly minted 27-year-old, your girl has been going the through it.
If I do bad, I wouldn't have did all that.
Okay, so let me do this hair before I end up shaving it off again. I feel like I spend a lot of time on my channel talking to y'all about just like medical school things, but not actually how it feels to be in med school. And right now, y'all, I'm not feeling that great. I feel like I am just socially isolated. If you've ever played The Sims, y'all know if you leave your sim like in a closet or something, or just away from access to other Sims, they start kind of going stir crazy. That's essentially what I'm feeling right now, except that I'm not going stir crazy. I'm just more so shutting down, for lack of a better word. I feel like I never fully explained to y'all kind of the relationship status that I have with like people in this field, and it's just not that great. Unfortunately, in my first year, y'all, I got into this big blowout fight with a majority of the black girls in my class, and it definitely shocked me and hurt me because this is a profession in which you don't see a lot of people like me, right? There is an obvious discrepancy in terms of representation of black people and black women in medicine. So for me to have a falling out with the very few of us that were in my cohort specifically was just kind of like, what the fuck? And it took me a very long time to recover from that fallout, not because I like miss them and I'm so just like desperate and lonely without them. It took me a long time to recover because it took me a minute to process what the fuck happened. I think that if you're not familiar with just like the aura of the field or this type of field, specifically a professional field, it can be very off-putting. You know, I don't have any doctors in my family. I don't really have any professional persons in my family. And so coming into an environment where people are very privileged, where people have a lot of accesses, a lot of resources, and just in general have a lot of first world problems and are kind of out of touch with reality, it can be a significant culture shock. And for example, right, I was in a psych class and they brought in people who were recovering from substance misuse. And when I say that these people in my cohort were all up in their face, looking at them like they were circus acts, I was so off put. I was like, ew, why are y'all acting like y'all have never seen somebody with like a substance use problem? And the reality is a lot of them have not. Like there were so many people in my class talking about it and saying, yeah, I've never seen somebody with a substance use problem. I've never seen that. And they were literally giving like mindfulness warnings to us as students and being like, yeah, you know, we have had a slight rise in fentanyl use within the state. So you might see somebody on the bus who appears like, you know, somnolent and like, you know, kind of like falling asleep, and maybe they might be agitated and aggressive, and don't hold that against them. And I'm just sitting here like, y'all need warnings for this? Y'all need advisories for this? Because I'm from Baltimore and you can see that just going up the street. You can see that getting on any bus. And I unfortunately do have family members who have passed away from substance misuse. And so in my head, I'm like, this needs to be a whole conversation. Like, I'm so confused. That's not to say that I'm blaming anyone for not having certain experiences. Like, duh, I think it's perfectly fine and okay that you don't know anybody who has suffered from substance misuse. I'm not saying that that is what makes me real and, you know, everybody else fake, but I think it just acts as an example of what I mean when I say there seems to be just a difference in how I experience and interpret things compared to a lot of my peers. And I think that those differences have just started to get to me. As I have been noticing these differences, it's just been messing with my head. And again, this all started really last year, or was it last year? Now it's going on 2 years ago. So when I first started med school, and I just felt like my experiences and my upbringing and really my general attitude, since I'm also from up north and there's not that many people from up north in my cohort, majority of the people in my class are from like this state. And so as I started kind of peeping and feeling like, these ain't really my people, it just left me in this weird state of isolation. So another example that I can think of, Because again, I don't want y'all to think that I dislike people simply because they have certain privileges. Like, no, like I'm not a hater, but we were out at this club, right? Me and a bunch of the girls from my class, you know, and this is when I already started feeling like, I think that, I just may not get along with these people. We're out at the club and this one girl literally starts talking crazy about one of the guys in our class, and I just so happen to be cool with this guy. And she pretty much says that she saw him flirting with the bartender, and you know, that's about right because that's the only type of girl that he can get, like a bartender. And so me and one of the other girls, who I'm not really that cool with her either, and so I was surprised that she said something. She goes, I think that that's a little harsh considering that we're all, you know, about to be doctors. I think that we can kind of pick and choose what we want because, like, especially if you're a man, like you are a eligible bachelor. Why did this girl go, yeah, if he even makes it that far to graduate? What? Like, why are you so fucking mean? And so I picked up that that was so normalized within our social circle to just talk bad and crazy about other people, unprovoked, unwarranted. And we would do this weird, nasty, nice kind of thing where if we saw those people, it would be like, oh, smile, smile, hee hee ha ha, you know, we can still all go out together. And I'm like, no, baby, this isn't even nasty nice. This is just fake. Like, y'all are fake. And there is a lot of just fake energy within this profession of just people feeling a sense of competition, people not wanting to help others. And like, it's so normalized that it's like, you do it and then you act like nothing is going on and you act like nothing is happening when you're all together. If I don't like you, I will just stay away from you. And if I have to work with you, if we have to be in some type of space or setting or capacity together, I will do what I have to do and then proceed to leave you alone right afterwards. Like, there is no talking, there is no, you know, mincing of words after work. No, I get what I need done and I'm out. Like, we do not need to converse any further. And so as I started implementing kind of hard boundaries with these people, because I was picking up on this fake vibe, and then I started suspecting that they were talking bad about me, which, newsflash, they were. I noticed that me upholding my boundaries and just kind of being more to myself out of just my own mental peace and my own mental sanctity just rubs people the wrong way. And that isolation feeling picked up even heavier because then they started isolating me on purpose. One of the girls in my class who I'm cool with now, right? Like, we're friends. I consider her a friend of mine. She literally told me that all of our first year in school, she wasn't sure about being close with me and to me because of the horrible things that these people would say about me behind my back. Like, they were trying to make it seem as if I was just the wicked witch of the West, very much, you know, very much Alfalfa. Like, they were not playing with me, pointy hat, crooked shoes type witch. And it just broke my heart to hear that, because while I understand that I maybe didn't handle certain conflicts in a healthy way, because I'm the type of person where once you get under my skin, I will burn bridges with you quick if I realize that there's no need for me to have a bridge. I'm not mincing words and playing fake nice with my peers. Y'all are not writing my letters of recommendation. Y'all are not, you know, helping me get into residency. Y'all are not giving me projects. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all, I can only get as much out of this relationship if the relationship is healthy and conducive to me, which it is not. Like, you're not my supervisor writing my evaluations and reports, so there's no need for me to be fake nice to you. I'm going to work with you when I have to and then leave you alone. So the fact that that type of courtesy wasn't even extended to me, and instead they were going around talking about me so bad to a point where people who didn't even know me yet, people who didn't have the opportunity to kind of, you know me for themselves, were feeling afraid of me, is absolutely freaking crazy. So I was like, wow, like, really kind of down about that. I ended up getting into kind of another argument with these girls, and honestly, I could go through a whole storytime vlog of just what happened, but I'm just trying to give y'all the context of the type of environment that I have just been in for really these past 2 years. And so I think it's just reached a point where, again, I'm feeling like I don't really have any type of social out. It's like I go to work, I do the work, and then I'm just here by myself, and it's pretty maddening. And so around my birthday, I got broken up with by this guy that I have been dating since last year, and that has really affected my mental health as well, because he's one of the only people that I feel anchored to and safe with in this entire state. You know what I mean? And so because of that, y'all, I haven't even taken my licensing exam yet. And I already know that someone's gonna be like, girl, you were supposed to have taken this. And you're right, I have been studying. My reports have been above the passing threshold. And to be honest, y'all, I have been lying to people. Like when they ask me, oh, did you pass? Did you do well? I'm like, oh yeah, I already passed. I don't even care to tell people that I'm in this kind of state because I don't feel comfortable anymore. I don't wanna talk about it. I don't wanna talk to people just in my presence about what I'm going through, because again, it doesn't feel like a safe space. I feel like I can't trust anybody. Even when I post on social media, and I'm being so transparent with you all as my YouTube family, and so many of you have reached out to me either by comments or email or whatever, DM, and just saying how much you appreciate my transparency and my authenticity. Y'all, it has been so hard because I've been worried that people in my class are going to find my channel and then like be all up in my business and telling people what I have going on. And that's just something that I'm having to get over, right? Because ultimately I am the one choosing to post. I'm also the one now choosing to delay my exam. And I'm trying to just go through it and get through it and be, again, as open and transparent about it as possible, because I think that these are feelings and emotions that everybody can and likely does have, but because nobody talks about it, it doesn't seem real. It feels like you're going through it alone, and it feels like you're, for lack of a better word, crazy. And I know that's not the case, but I've only recently started to feel that way because I've been going back to therapy more consistently. Thank God my insurance kicked in to cover a majority of it, so I have a really low copay, and I realized that this is not possible for everybody. So that is definitely a benefit and a privilege that I have, but I definitely am not taking it for granted because it has helped me so much so far just to have a consistent baseline of talking to somebody who can kind of see me implement some of my therapy tools when it comes to interpersonal relationships, when it comes to conflict resolution, and just be applauded and patted on the back for even freaking trying. Because a lot of the times I don't give myself credit for doing better than what I would have last year or what I would have when I was younger. And I need to start, because ultimately communication is hard. Interpersonal relationships are hard. Romantic relationships are hard, and I am just figuring it out like everybody else. And so I've definitely been in a period of trying to give myself grace, but also trying to give myself structure, which is why this upload is so kind of impromptu, because I feel like I could spend all day content planning, content scheduling, recording, propping things up, executing things, you know what I'm saying? But it's not always organic, and I definitely wanted to just have an organic moment to be like, y'all, entering my late 20s, right, as a newly minted 27-year-old, your girl has been going the fuck through it. So with me feeling the way that I do, my therapist has asked me like, hey, do you think that you could reach a point where you do start deepening the trust in the relationship with people you even semi feel safe with, such as my mentor, such as like, you know, the one friend that I have in medical school? And I don't know. I feel like it's a yes and a no. You know what I mean? Because I feel like my personal feelings are so distinct and separate from my work life, even though they're kind of related, right? Like I'm obviously feeling the way that I'm feeling because of things that are happening within my work environment, but it's not the work itself, you know? It's not as if I'm currently in a state of distress because, oh, I'm worried about the exam. No, I haven't scheduled it and I'm not taking it yet because I'm worried about my mental state. I'm worried about the fact that I feel so isolated. I feel so kind of flat because of all of these kinds of emotional things that I'm going through yet again. And I am trying to have confidence in myself that this isn't going to keep happening, that when I'm going through stuff mentally and emotionally, that I don't just shut down, that I don't just like push stuff out the way, because in real life I'm not going to be able to do that. You know what I mean? I could be having the worst day of my life, but if I have to go into a surgery, I have to go into a surgery. Now, that's not to say that there are not elements of medicine that need to change in order to better accommodate things like mental health, because I still definitely believe that. However, I feel like my general baseline right now of just trusting myself and feeling secure in myself is just not there. And I want to bolster fasten, secure, whatever that word is. I want to just rectify that before I worry about anything academically, because that's something else that I think irritates me too. If I were to try to speak to others about how I'm feeling, I don't want them to try and simplify it down to, oh, academic anxiety, because it's deeper than that. And my academic advisor actually did that the other day to me when I was saying like, yeah, I just kind of don't feel that ready to test and whatever, and I'm looking for exams a little bit later into the month. He was like, well, Janae, you've been doing fine. You know, again, your scores have been great, and I don't really understand. And it's like, and this is why I don't talk about it. Like, this is why I don't talk about it. This is why I don't bring it up, because it doesn't feel good when people try to make you feel insane for your feelings. And so I don't know. I hope that this is somewhat relieving and cathartic for somebody else too that might be kind of going through this phase where you don't feel aware of yourself as you should. Because again, I think that so many people have this feeling and just don't know how to express it, or don't feel safe to do so because other people don't express it. And I'm always going to try to be as transparent and honest about my emotions, because I know myself, and if I try to keep this type of stuff in, it's just not going to do me any good. I will not move forward at all. I will be stuck in this emotional rut, and I'm trying my damnedest to get out of it. I also think with me entering my late 20s, it's hitting me that I am still single, and that like I'm not married by now, and it's not even that I want to have kids. So I'm trying to understand why I feel so pressured to be in a relationship, because like, what's the rush if I am not worried about my uterus? But I think it's mainly because I feel like I should have one by now, right? And I don't even know what's making me think that, but I feel like, man, I'm putting in the work in on myself, and I want to believe that I'm a nice and I'm a kind person, and I have these goals and whatnot for myself. So where is my person, right? Like, where is my person that I could just rely on and call on at all times? And then with me being dumped and broken up with literally days before my birthday, it just made me feel like, dang, nobody is really here for me in the way that I need. And that makes me feel bad as well, because obviously I have really good friendships, friends that I have known for decades. And again, it's not like I don't trust my mentor at all. She means a lot to me. I have people in my life that I really care about and that really care about me. But I think I have specific needs right now. I have specific emotional desires right now that just genuinely are not being met. And it's messing with my mind. Then it doesn't help that I'm having some hormonal fluctuations. I talked about this in my birthday upload, but your girl is on birth control now. And in all 26 years of my life prior to this year, I have never had acne. Never, ever. I've never broken out. I've never gotten more than just one maybe off random pimple on my forehead or something. But now my skin is just not doing well because my hormones are fluctuating. I don't like the idea of having to take an estrogen-based birth control, because the last one that I had was the Nexplanon, which is 100% progestin. And I am just like scared and worried about that. Even though, yes, I'm educated and I'm informed about different contraceptive and birth control methods, the fact remains that because I'm so informed, I'm freaking myself out. I literally was in the gym the other day, y'all. I was in the gym the other day having normal cramps, because that's what they were. I had normal leg cramps, and I was like, maybe I threw a clot. Maybe I'm gonna get a pulmonary embolism because I have a DVT. Literally panicking mid-gym set. Bruh. So I don't know. This is definitely one of my more casual, chaotic uploads. Like I said, like just random, kind of off the top of my dome type of thoughts. And I hope that's okay. I hope it's okay for me to have these types of uploads, because again, I want to be helpful to whoever comes across my page, and I want to give the advice, and I want to, you know, show you what it's like being in med school, and take y'all to my classes, and take y'all in the OR, and do all those cool things. But sometimes like shit just don't be cool. It just don't be cool. Stuff don't be cool. Stuff don't be fun. Stuff don't be great. Life don't be lifing like it's supposed to. And so I hope that it's all right for me to use my channel to share these types of things as well. So if you're going through a breakup and you're going through, you know, different changes, emotional changes, you're going through hormonal changes, friendship changes, just know that it keeps happening. Even in your late 20s, I don't think it ever stops happening. I think as you transition through different phases of you, not even just your age, but literally just different versions of you and who you are, what you experience, what you think, what you need, that these transition periods, these moments of change just aren't always the most comfortable. And so yeah, I just wanted to come over here and just tell y'all, your girl is going through it. We're gonna get through it though. It's gonna be fine. I know that I'm going to take my exam. I'm going to pass. I know that my friendships will stabilize. I know eventually my man will be delivered to me by the grace of God, because clearly when I get to searching, I don't be picking the right ones. Because y'all, that man used to talk to me crazy. The man used to talk to me crazy. Like, just thinking about it, and I'm kind of scared to even tell y'all all of kind of what went on in that relationship, because I'm not a person that has low self-esteem. I'm generally not. But there are definitely times where I can get kind of set off in a relationship, an interpersonal relationship, romantic or platonic wise, where they say or do something that reduces me back to a state of mind that I was in when I was younger. Because again, my mental health is forever changing, is forever growing. I have been very transparent about the fact that I do have a mental health condition, a diagnosed mental health condition. And so navigating that within my interpersonal relationships can be difficult sometimes. And so I just have to tell myself, like, yeah, I have to be more cognizant and wary about who I allow in my life and just close to me and intimate with me in that way. And I'm hesitant to share, as I said, because it would just sound crazy to y'all. I'd be saying it out loud to myself. I'd be like, damn girl, like, what was you doing? Like, how did you let it get that bad? Maybe one day I'll do like a wine and talk upload about just like my past relationships and the stuff that I have been through, because I truly think that even your bad experiences shape and inform who you are and inform others of who you are. So I definitely wouldn't mind sharing it. But yeah, I think that this is just kind of the end of my random ranting thoughts. I didn't even do anything but yap, because this is such a slow process. But y'all will see it. Y'all see my hair eventually. Because yeah, I'm really happy that I decided to do this instead of cutting off my hair. Because the last time that I felt like this, I literally shaved my hair down, buzz cut balls. Buzz cut. It was fire though. It looks good on me. But the fact that I grew my hair out for 5 whole years and then just randomly had such a rush of just heavy emotions that I took a freaking what is it, razor? That's how it's called. Whatever, and just zzz, my hair right on off and just plopped on the floor. So traumatic, so crazy of me to do. So I definitely am glad that I am at least in a state of mind where, yeah, I'm feeling chaotic again. Yeah, I'm not feeling as secure, but at least I am approaching it from a more healthy manner. I am a bit disappointed that I haven't been able to, again, get over it, to just like take my test and move on. And I am, like I said, concerned that this is kind of a repeated pattern that I definitely want to address while in therapy. But you know what? Again, growing, learning, changing, adapting, me. That's it, that's all.